Welcome back to Kevin Toll Reads, where today we are talking The Secret from Lee and Andrew Child, another Jack Reacher entry. This one takes us back to the 90s, where we get to see Jack Reacher as a captain in the military police. He is part of an interagency group that is set to uncover hidden truths, shadowy conspiracies, and Reacher's relentless pursuit of justice. Let's break down the plot, themes, and the reasons why this book should be on your TBR. So today we have a book review of The Secret by Lee and Andrew Child. Some of the details of this book are, one, it's book number 28 in the Reacher series. I am now one book away from catching up completely with this series. This was published in 2023. It is a thriller fiction, and why I picked this up is because I'm reading through the series. I love series. So this would be a nice one to check off the list. Just one more book, In Too Deep, is the last one that will be on my list. So I will read that soon and be caught up on everything Jack Reacher. So let's talk summary of this plot. This, again, is set in the early 90s, 1992 to be exact, and 8 seemingly unconnected but respectable individuals across the United States are found dead under mysterious circumstances. These deaths, initially appearing accidental, draw the attention of the Secretary of Defense, who assembles an interagency task force to investigate. Jack Reacher, serving as a captain in the military police for the United States Army, is appointed by the Army as the representative on this team. As Reacher delves deeper, he uncovers a complex web of secrets dating way back to covert biological weapons projects in the 1960s. The investigation also takes a turn and leads him to confront powerful adversaries and buried truths, all while navigating the bureaucratic challenges of interagency cooperation. So let's talk a little bit about what I liked about this story. The plotting is very intricate. It's very layered. There's mystery. There's some stuff that's out in the open that's not a mystery, but there also is things of why that is a mystery. As the book progresses, you slowly start to uncover these things in a very neat way. I love the secrecy and transparency. It examines the impact of hidden government decisions and what they can mean in decades later. I also like the sense of justice versus retribution. That's a theme here, questioning the morality of actions taken in the name of national security. I love how Reacher has his own sense of justice. It was nice to kind of go back to a Reacher story that took place in his early days in the Army and as a military police officer. It was also interesting to get Reacher when at a time period in his service in the United States Army when he has been demoted from major back to captain. And they talk a little bit about his oak leaves in the story. I also enjoyed the pacing of this one was interesting, although it started a little weird, and I'll get into that. I really thought the middle and ending was very well done. I liked the climax of this story. I like how it wrapped things up in a very unique way, and I like some twists that they had at the end. I thought that was really good. I enjoyed the task force that was put together. You had representatives from the Army, the FBI, CIA. I thought it was really well done, and they all have their own kind of individual personalities. I thought, again, Reacher as a younger character is always kind of neat to get a throwback kind of story. I didn't have any excerpts this time that I really just were to die for. There's quite a bit of Reacher-isms, if you kind of coin that phrase, that are throughout this book, but nothing that really stood out for me. There was one dislike I had, and it had to do with the beginning of the book. There is a plot that Reacher is dealing with in terms of accounting for weapons inventory, and it has something to do with a weapon attachment that was gone missing and how it is a part of something that would take a civilian weapon and make it military grade. But yet that particular beginning was all a red herring, because the real story happens when Reacher's pulled off of that and into something else. And so I was a little kind of discombobulated at the beginning about, okay, well, really, what's this about? Like, now we're like switching gears to this. And then it settles into the meat and potatoes of the story, and it just had me. In terms of rating, I gave this a 4.4. I thought this was a very well done story. I'm slowly glad that after stopping the Reacher series when I got to the first couple Andrew Child entries along with Lee Child and how off-putting it was, I'm glad I picked it back up and carried forward. This one, in its previous book, I thought Andrew Child was starting to write more like his brother Lee, and the Reacher character was coming out a little more like are grown accustomed to over the early entries. Overall impression, I think if you're into government intrigue, conspiracy, complex mysteries, this is definitely one for you. This is definitely a smaller entry. This was like a 350-page book. Usually Reacher books are like 450 pages or more. So this was a quick read for me. I was able to add this as part of to bolster my reading week. And this is my third book of the week. So I'm very happy about that. But that is my take on Lee and Andrew Child's The Secret, book number 28 in the Jack Reacher series, 4.4 out of 5. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and I will talk to you all later. Thanks. 3, 2, 1.